The First Indochina War ended in 1954 and led to the expulsion of French forces who had occupied the peninsula for almost a century. Vietnam was left divided into the Communist North and Catholic-led but predominantly Buddhist South. The South was supported by the United States, who saw the spread of communism as one of the 20th century's worst problems. The fear was that a domino effect would occur, that after the loss of one nation to communism, neighbors would surely follow. The United States was facing an encroaching communist front and decided that Vietnam was the place to make a stand. Recent operations saw thousands of South Vietnamese families moved into militia-controlled fortified villages as part of the Strategic Hamlet Resettlement Program. However, Viet Cong have infiltrated several of these South Vietnamese hamlets, killed their leaders, and seized control. We need to support the South Vietnamese Air Force in wiping out these VC-controlled hamlets. For the first part of this operation, we'll soften up their defenses with airstrikes, ready for an assault with light tanks and infantry.
I'm having some problems with rudder response. Need to perform a maneuverability check.
Roger that. Positioning to check you from behind. I'm on your 6. Initiate maneuverability check. Dropping bomb. Bombing negative.
We need to eliminate the Viet Cong's infiltrated hamlets, bomb the occupied villages to destroy the Viet Cong's base, and help to reduce the enemy presence in the area.
Dropping bomb.
NVA MiGs are approaching. Protect our bombers before the MiGs reach them. Good job! Now destroy the remaining hamlets.
Bombs are low. Dropping bomb. That's a good strike. Dropping bomb. That's a miss.
Dear Joe, too bad there was no time for you to come home and say goodbye. I was so excited to hear that you've been transferred to Vietnam to support our fight for democracy, and I wanted to shake your hand. I've told all my friends that my brother's gonna fight in Vietnam. Some of them said that we shouldn't be dictating how other nations are run, but I know they're wrong, and that we're doing the right thing. Mother is worried about you and she sends kisses, but she is sure our father would be proud of you should he be with us still. God bless his soul. Lisa was here yesterday bringing me your old textbooks. Zoe was helping, and she was very proud too, telling everyone she was helping Uncle Nee learn. After finishing college, I want to be just like you, but on the ground. It's the Marines for me. You take care and kick some commie asses. Your brother, Neil.
Airstrikes on the VC-controlled hamlets were successful. Their defensive fortifications have been severely damaged, and now the ground attack must commence. South Vietnamese light tanks and infantry are already on their way to the hamlets. We will provide air support to ensure their success. But be careful. AA defenses are still active in the area, so we'll need to prioritize these when spotted.
This is Cobra 2. I think we've been hit. I'm initializing test control sequence.
Roger that, Cobra 2. We don't see any visible damage to your bird. Perform the full control test to confirm. Functionality check.
Thanks, Bishop. All seems to be working well. Proceed with the mission objectives.
South Vietnamese tanks failed to break the hamlet fortifications in the valley. We don't have any ground forces in the area, but to break the hamlet's defenses, our Cobra Squad will crush them from the air. Fortifications were eliminated. There is still considerable resistance in the hamlet, and to minimize losses, we will provide air support for Vietnamese ground forces. We can capture the second hamlet quickly by dropping our troops near the hamlet at LZ Bravo. However, LZ is heavily protected by AAs. Cobras have to destroy the AAs to allow Hueys to deploy our boys at LZ Bravo. Great! Our troops were deployed safely at the LZ. We have to provide cover fire until they establish a defensive perimeter. Surveillance reports NVA HQ located near our position. Destroy it to minimize the NVA presence in the area.
I wonder how much good it does, rounding up these scattered communities, uprooting families and farmers, and moving them into these supposedly secure hamlets. None of them thanked us for it. None of them wanted it. It's this kind of erosion of society that makes individuals stand and fight, to protect and cling on to what they hold dear. But with the threat of communism looming over us, we must make hard choices and follow them through, whatever the consequences, for the greater good. People will see this, must see this, in the future.